Hello, welcome back to the channel. It is Dan, Nocturne Knives. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of a knife that I've been looking forward to for quite a while now. I pre-ordered this back in May of 2021. I'm pretty sure it was early May, late April, something like that. But anyway, let's get into it. I'll open this up, keep a little bit of suspense, and then I'll talk you through what caused it to be such a long time until we got this. Alright, hopefully not as too much of a spoiler. This is going to be our unboxing knife, the Sharp by Design Micro Evo Typhoon. Hey, real quick, before we get into it, don't forget to go down, like the video, subscribe if you like sharpening and knife content, stuff like that. I would really appreciate it. Definitely help me out. And that's all. Hope you enjoy the video. So this is definitely a well-anticipated knife for myself. And here we are. I think a lot of you are going to recognize that box. The Sharp by Design. Got peanuts galore. So, why has this taken so long? So this is the... No, it's actually not on the outside. I'll open it up. Well, before I open it up. So this is the new Mini Tempest from Sharp by Design, Brian Nadeau, and there were some delays in the handle inlay material. They were originally going to be carbon plate, and then carbon plate screwed over Brian Nadeau, but luckily manufacturer Fat Carbon came in and helped Brian out. They got the material shipped really fast, got it over to Rayot in China, who made these, and they've been working hard to get them here as fast as possible. There have been some delays. We can pretty much blame carbon plate for all of that. They really screwed Brian over on this one. But it is here, the Mini Tempest. Interesting. A Mike Imler card. Not really sure why that's in here. If any of you are interested in contacting Mike Imler, crazy sharp, does a really good job. I follow him on Instagram, on YouTube and stuff. Not sure why that's in here though, it's kind of odd. Alright, here we go. Get this out of the box, nice foam here. Alright. This is what we're looking at. I went with the Bowie blade and the blue carbon fiber, and this feels amazing. The inlay work feels absolutely incredible on this. Like, there's no transition from inlay to titanium. That's incredible. That's so nice. All right, this one is a front flipper. It's got the standard build of a Rayot Brian Nadeau two-piece construction with this integrated backspacer construction. So it's just two pieces. There's no actual spacer. You can see, if you look closely, the seam there. And the same on this one. Here's what our centering looks like. Spot on by my eye. Maybe the tiniest bit off to the show side, but I know it's kind of hard to tell here. Now look at that, you can see that's spot on. That's pretty much spot on. All right. Got this great clip, same style clip. You can see my old one is scratched up a bunch. And this is, I think, carbon plate. I think they call it dark blue, dark matter, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure if the color will come through, but it's swirly marbled carbon fiber thing with streaks of blue in it. Looks real cool. Let's try a flip. See how it goes. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. That's what the blade is looking like. This is the Bowie shape of the clip point. I think he called it a Bowie. And this one has hand rubbed satin. It is in M390, which I don't think is actually marked on here anywhere. Here's our maker's mark, Brian Nadeau. Got liner lock with the overlay of carbon fiber, steel lock bar insert. All that machining on there is really nice. So far, it's great. The jimping up here on the flipper tab it's not too sharp, but it's grippy enough to get your finger and make it really easy to push over and come out. Let's see. I don't know if I'll be able to do this. I'm not real good at this one. I can't do the reach around on this knife. Some people may be able to. Pointer finger is really easy to get it though. That rolling open. The action on the close feels really nice. It's not drop shutting, but it's really smooth. It just drifts down, and this may, I don't know, I think this might end up dropping shut at least somewhat with some more breaking in, maybe a little lube in the right places. Now this fuller, I'm interested to see, oh, it's middle finger flickable. Okay. I wasn't sure that it would be. Okay. That makes me really, really, really happy. Okay. Here you go. You got the fuller in there. It's just poking out. I was skeptical of this when I first saw the design on Brian's website. I thought, I bet you can middle finger flick that fuller. But he posted on his Instagram a few days ago after receiving these, and someone asked him specifically if you could middle finger flick this, and he said no. But that's a middle finger flick on the fuller. That is absolutely middle finger flickable. And you saw I got it first try. It's really not that hard. It's really not hard at all. You can jam your finger in there pretty easy right there and flick it out, and the edges are just sharp enough to catch your finger. It's a little bit, it's just a little awkward. It's not super easy, say on like this Hinder non-flipper where the fuller is out a ways from the handle. So it's really easy to get your finger on there like that. But you can get in there. You can absolutely middle finger flick this. That makes me really, really happy. I was really hoping that you could middle finger flick this, because front flippers are great, but I always, especially on a front flipper, I like to have a second option for deployment, because sometimes your hands are cold, sometimes they're wet or slippery or something, and the front flipper just takes some fine motor skills. You got to get anchored on the clip and hold it just right to get that front flip, but the middle finger flick takes a lot fewer motor skills. Take a look at that profile. Damn, okay. That's nice. Let's see, let's take a look at the ergonomics. So first finger goes here. Rest of your fingers wrap around the nice little swell here. That feels, first impressions, really nice. Feels great. You have this swoop up in the blade where you can stick your thumb if you want to get on the blade for a push cut, a little more control out at the tip. Your finger, my finger, fits nicely in this groove. It's not a big groove, so if you have big fat sausages on your hands, that may be a little tight for you. It might feel awkward, but there's a lot of space on the rest of this handle for a big hand, so I don't know, maybe it would work. The jimping here is sharp enough to catch, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable or anything, so you want to get back like this. It feels nice. Hammer grip feels great. It's really smooth and rounded on the back, so that feels good. There's nothing poking into your hand as you're, say, cutting into something. Pinch grip feels really good. That's great. The pinch grip here is money because it's so smooth back here. Your pointer finger lands right here. That's awesome. You could choke up with your pinch grip a little bit here to get more control. Yeah, you can grab it up here, finger kind of goes in here in this choil area, get up here opening a box or something. Feels really good. Draw cut is great. It's a pretty neutral handle overall. So the ergos feel quite nice on this. Got the swedge. Looks nice and symmetrical. Looks well ground. I love the way that fuller extends out to the swedge and fades off. You can see it from the top. You can see the profile of the fuller. Oh, and that action is so nice. It's even after just a little opening and closing, it's breaking in really well. Well, real quick before I jump off, and look at that work on the back. That seam is so tight. Really great work. Okay, I'll do a couple size comparisons. We'll pull out the Micro Evo Typhoon. Seems a relevant comparison, and I'll zoom in just a little bit. Here we go. Here's what it looks like lined up at the pivots. Micro Evo versus Mini Tempest. And the regular Tempest is a 4-inch blade. This one is 3.5, I believe. That's what we're looking like next to the Micro Evo. And we'll see. Let's take a look at thickness. Looking pretty much identical. Maybe like an extra millimeter on the Tempest, but quite similar. Blade stock, like an extra 0.5 mil on the Tempest. Honestly, they're really, really close. Very similar indeed. And they have same construction, same high quality build. I'll pull out something actually with similar construction. It's got this 2-piece handle construction like the Mini Tempest. Here you go, ProTech Malibu, and actually pretty close in overall size. I'm putting it on top and the bottom because the camera's at a little bit of an angle, so this will help you calibrate kind of the size differences. Fairly similar knives overall. You can see overall length, the closed length is actually identical, or very nearly. The Mini Tempest edges it out slightly with this flipper tab, but thickness is really close. Couple extra mils on the Tempest, but those are two very comparable knives for sure. Show you it next to another Chinese OEM front flipper. We have the Booz Blades Smoke. This is the TM2. I'm pretty sure this one is the newest full-size smoke. So it's coming in longer than the Mini Tempest for sure. Maybe got overall about a 1/2 inch on the Mini Tempest. Blade length, almost identical. Stock thickness, looking quite similar. Overall thickness, identical. These are two pretty comparable knives, actually. Quite similar. I'll give you next to a really popular size comparison. Here's the PM2 from Spyderco. This is a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive in fat carbon, and it's definitely a fair bit shorter than the PM2. You can see a lot of this difference, pretty much all the difference, is taken up by the handle. The blade lengths are pretty much, they're identical. Identical blade length. The big difference here is coming in the handle. So I'll show you that. Yeah, there you go. PM2's got an extra 1/2 inch in the handle and a lot of extra width. Thickness-wise, a few extra mils out of the Mini Tempest. Here's a size comparison just for the heck of it. A Hinderer XM18 3.5 non-flipper. These two knives really aren't that similar at all, other than they are both on bearings and they're titanium frame locks, but quite different overall. Let's see. The Hinderer is much thicker, much heavier. Actually, overall length, is not too far off. The blade length is pretty much the same. The handle length, again, is where these differences are coming in. You know, thickness, pretty similar. If you take in the contoured handles, they come out to about the same thickness. The Hinderer has significantly thicker blade stock, though. You can see there. And the handle is much bigger. And just because I like it, I'll bring out the whatchamacallit, the Conigarius, which is a much bigger knife. Overall, you can see the Konig's probably got 3/4 of an inch on the Mini Tempest. And they're quite different knives overall. You know, the Konig is really in a different area in terms of like price and production and all that stuff. Thicker than the Mini Tempest. So there you go. They're both, here's the similarity. They're both middle finger flickable. There you go. If you're looking for some similarities to stretch to, they both middle finger flick. So there you go. Okay, I think that is all I have. I will definitely be talking about this knife more. Oh, the choil here. Choil looks good. I think it clears the plunge grind by a decent bit. You can kind of put your finger in here. I wouldn't recommend it. I think you can use it for your pinch grip up here a little bit, but it's not really a choil you want to be sticking your finger into. I'd just hold it back here, choke up a little bit into it with a pinch grip, but that's about all I'd use it for. Okay, that's all that I have to talk about today. Sharp by Design, Mini Tempest, made by Rayot. It is finally here, and first impressions, it's amazing. This is a really, really good knife. I think I'm gonna be a big fan of this. I already loved my Micro Evo Typhoon, and I definitely am not surprised that I am into this. Okay, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go leave a thumbs up, go subscribe if you like knives and sharpening and stuff like that. And I'll leave you with a question. Are you a fan of Brian Nadeau's designs, Sharp by Design? You know, because he's got a definite design language. Is it your style? Does it speak to you? Or are you kind of passing on the whole Sharp by Design thing? I'd love to know. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you on the next one.